Genevieve Cordoba. Hello, welcome. Quit driving over that. This is Beijing, China. Beijing, China. I said Beijing, China. So thankful that's not happening where I'm at. In the middle of the night, too. Kenny, wow, good to see you, bud. I'll have to come back to this one and get you a wrench, Kenny. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. Why is my speaker not turned off? There we go. All right, here we go. Let's get started, shall we? All right. I told you I would be back. All right, so if we can get some cooperation here. Here we are, August 9th, 2024. And while that loop is playing here and loading up, I'll take a moment to thank all of you for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. As we are in these closing days here, time is very precious. So it's important where you spend it, right? So thank you for choosing me. And if you stick around to the end, you're going to find out how precious you are indeed in this family, okay, and how precious this family is. It's not your normal YouTube show, okay? All right. Here's your loop playing, and we're just going to grab the opening frame. We're missing some data towards the end there. So let me go ahead and just grab the opening frame here. What happened here? Oh, I see. Okay, so let me grab the opening frame as it comes back around. There we go. So opening frame 036 instead of 24. So here we are, 036, opening frame, August 9th, 2024. Here's this little object up here blasting out. You see the plasma out in front of it, the instrument reacting to it. Here we're just going to go start zooming in, get all comfy. Okay, tiny little black dot right there, but you can see where our object is located. Insomniac. Let's just say I can't do this show during certain times of the day. It's kind of like a midnight hour show, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, there's that. And then down here, we have the remnants of a object leaving the screen here. All right. Down below here, you can see this dome right there and all this plasma that's reaching off the sun to it. It's more like right there. This black one right there. And you can even make out little planetoids that are with it here. Let me drop it to right there, and then we're going to darken this just a tad because light saturation. Pull it up one more click. All right, now we can see our black spheroid object right here. Okay, a little planetoid right here, something chasing behind it there. All right, and then this is the ghost little ray or something over here arching out. Oh, there's another object right there. That's what's going on. So there's your main big one with a bunch of little guys trailing along with it. Exiting the screen, already, finishing up, underway, exiting the frame as we open up here with our opening frame. Okay. So we got this little guy that got torn off. We got this bigger one down here with a couple of little trailing ones with it. Something else ghostly going on around in there. Also this out here. There's a lot going on in there. Let me get it just right for you guys, right there. Okay, over here too, you can see this little round object's got some plasma. It's grabbed with it, right? I believe it's probably this right here. I don't know. There's a lot going on. You should come over to this instrument and check it out. Do what I do. Zoom in, darken stuff, go frame by frame, because there's some amazing stuff going on out there. So as we continue, oh, there we go. A little more definition. That event finally leaves the screen, pulls away. So that means we got a bigger object kind of heading, it looked like heading towards us, but south. That would be that CME kind of heading south or something, maybe. There's whatever that is. Oh, there we go. Right there, you can see our little round object right here. In fact, if we just kind of do this a little bit, you can see what I'm saying. Almost looks like a yin-yang thing. All right, so let's continue on as that moves out of frame. There we go. So light saturation, a few frames there. Now we go with this incident right here. Okay, something right in that vicinity with another little small moon or whatever going with it. And then we continue on. So we have 1900 right here. Then we get a jump to 2312. And what's going on here? Shall we? Let's see if there's any other frames. Ooh. First, let's go in right there. Yeah, right there. Looks good. Dark black round spherical object, got some other little satellites with it. Let's go tighter. All the way in. Right to the top. Can you see it now? Right there. Maybe there's our outline right there. Oop. Right there. There we go. So, can we darken just one more? Oh, let's go right about there. Nope. No, other way. Better. I'm trying to capture this edge right there. Because the whole object is right here. Where's my pointer? There's the whole edge of our round circular object. The first front part getting blasted right here. You can see the streaks going past it. Here it's getting, well, the negative is darkening. Watch this though. Can we move a frame this way, Lord? And then right there. Let me back out. That's too zoomed in now. So you can see the front leading edge of it right there. All right. Where is my pointer? What is the little circle I go? Here's the front edge. It's going around like this. I want to capture this bottom edge too. What if we just went like that? Ooh. I've got a smiley face kind of. Well, the curvature over here on this side, right? See that line dropping down right in there? No, you don't. Let me try again. Right here is your circular object. Hopefully you can see that. It's painted pretty well. It's a little faint, but it's there. Yeah? Did you want to come in? Never mind. All right. So there's definitely an object, and it looks to have a little satellite maybe right in the middle of it right here, a dark spot. Little one up here as well. Okay, you can see some plasma streaking out over the top and brushing away. This little fleeting effect right there. Okay, so there's another big object right there. You understand what I'm saying? Wait. Pull this wait. Zoom out right there. Slider. Now do you see it? All right. Sorry, I gotta do it that way. Let's go back up. Brighten back up. There we go. Now we'll pull it back out. All right. Weird ways I gotta do it, but these things are kind of hard to spot. And that was the last frame. That was 23:48. It jumped 23:36. It was back here. Let's go. That's a good frame right there, too. Let's just try to capture some of the plasma as it streaks over and around our object here. Let me get the wavy lines back out of there and the little satellite that's accompanying it right there. All right. And that it's pointing back behind the sun and went by it like this and came at the right hand part of the camera over here. You know, over where my finger is, it's kind of coming at us this way. Refocus, please. There we go. So let me back out again. Whew. A lot of activity today. Didn't look like much, but there's lots going on in the background. If you know what to look for, please just want the bar. All right, so let's start that up again and let that loop play. We'll even slow it down. No, one more click. That's good. All right, so we had this event down here at the very opening, leaving the frame with a big object there. Almost something ghostly in there. And there's more going on in there than I'm pointing out. You guys See all kinds of other stuff in there that's going on as well. All right. I see it all, but some stuff I don't point out every single thing, because if you just sat here and pointed up, look at it. There's inflow, there's objects going in, bigger objects coming out. We got multiple eruptions at a time, stray objects like that thing that didn't even look right. So you can see that our activity is going off the hook right here. All right, now let's move on here. Take a deep breath and let's come on over to Solar Ham. All right, and here we go. First of all, let's start up here. Our solar flux indice dropped 30 points. Thankfully, we're still above 300. We're back to 306. But look at this. Our sunspot numbers, 382. I mean, 282 is a lot. This is in the red at 382, up 45 more spots. Crazy. The area is way up there in the red, way above 3,000. I mean, it broke 3,000 by 260. So it's just going. These are all climbing. Thankfully, the solar flux indice has dropped a little bit, because anything above 300 is still gnarly, but it was at 336, and I was getting a little concerned. Are we going to start cooking now or what? Cooking from the inside out? Wow. Anyways, let's move on. Let's pop this sucker open. Get this going. How you guys doing? You hanging tight in there? I feel some anxiety out there. Who's got the anxiety? Well, we'll fix that at the end of the show. Meanwhile, we got to finish this up. We got 3777 here, all spread out. It's still got the beta gamma delta configuration up here, 3774 as well. And the big old monster here in the middle, 3780. Intense on both sides, but they're pretty far apart. This is getting closer, so we'll have to watch it closely, monitor it, make sure it doesn't get, well, it's center disk. All right, that sucker firing an X flare at us would not be nice. So we may have had a little incident already. So where are we at? I'm on 200. There's ours. All right, so there's your sunspot number, and then just real quick over here, 3784 getting organized as well, getting complex. All right, so or intense, I mean. All right, so there's that. Now, what I want to do is take you over and slide you over. You know how to dance and do the slide? There we go. And then what am I in too close? Back through. There we go. Trying to get a little wavy line thing. All right, so here we go. There's your GOES X-ray for today. Pretty bumpy day, and then we saw our long duration one right there towards the end, that we saw our bigger object that I just pointed out. And then here we go into tomorrow, and here's another event right here. Would you like to go see this event? You think there's probably another big object there? No, you don't want to go see that? You don't want to look at a little peek into the future right here? Well, we're going to do it anyway. So let's just back out of this, refresh for all of the data that we can. Oh, look at here. More stuff to go through. All righty, let me catch an opening frame. Oh, right there. All right, so opening frame 024. We got an event underway. Some good spread right here. Here's our object right there. Let's continue before I zoom in a little bit. Look at this event coming out. Definitely right there. What the? Mm-hmm. Um. Right here. This. And don't tilt your head to the left because it's got two eyes, a nose, and a sad mouth. But definitely something going on right there. You can see CME material or ejecta flying over it. Here, let's back up a little. So they usually come like 3 in a row. Can I do this instead? It's had a big old face. Chin, mouth, nose, eyes, white on one side, black on the other, right there. Oops. Yeah, something going on right there. You can even see the eye. All right. Then this event, let me slide here because it jumps when I have to use the arrows. That is some kind of cartoon character or whatever. And you can see how this flow comes out, kinks, goes up, and goes around. So you can make out where our object is. It's right, like right there. I can't draw very well with a numb hand anymore. All right, let's try it. There's the top of it right there. Plasma reaching out, hitting some little moon that's right in front of it, but it would be right there. And you can tell by the flow. All right, so a lot of activity going on around the sun. A lot of larger objects, too, carrying little satellites along with them. All right, and we can keep clicking away. We got more frames to go as that goes out of screen. This coming up right here. Whoops. And what happened with the bottom here? Can we do... There we go. And select. Now, can we see it? No, can we get them? There we go. Okay, so there's your 24 frames for already going into the 10th right there. Oh, let me do that. You can see it right there at the end. Let me slow that down just a tad bit for you guys. Doing okay in there. I could feel you guys are like, oh, it's going to take forever to get the spiritual report. Wow, pretty amazing captures there. This is NASA satellite, okay? I'm not making this stuff up. Come over here and check it out. Take a peek at it. Zoom in, brighten stuff up, dim it down, take a peek around. So, 1, 2, and then we maybe had our third right there. So very, very active on the sun. Okay, now let me zoom back out here. Now, geomagnetic forecast for the next 3 days, still G2, even up to August 12th now. All right. So it was 9, 10, 11. Now it's 10, 11, and 12. Okay. So here we go. Meanwhile, I want to talk about 25% X flare, 75% M flare. Okay, X flare potential way back up there again because we got these sunspots. All right, 77 is the one that kicked out the X 1.3 yesterday. Okay, all in all, our geomagnetic storming has been quiet though. We've been under KP2. Well, sliding down to KP2 here, so that's good. I will take that any day. I don't want a bunch of storming. It's not good for the planet. All right. Meanwhile, 37. Oh no, where to go? Oh, all of them declined down to beta gamma. So there's no beta gamma delta. That's good. Beta gamma and growing, but it was beta gamma delta. So it looks like they're all declined down to just beta gamma, but they're growing still. I don't know. That's growing back again, I guess. Let's take a look at this article real quick. The latest CME forecast model calls for the X1.3 CME to pass Earth by late August 11th and into the 12th. This will likely be more certain than the previous couple of eruptions forecast to arrive at any time. So far, there has been no sign of an incoming shock passage, and the G1 to G2 storm outlook for August 9th appears unlikely. It'll continue to monitor the solar wind conditions. Let's open up this tracker just real quick. We saw pretty much most of it right there. Is it going to open? No. It's too jumpy. Nice and smooth. That one not showing much. Pull this up just a little bit. You see this 1, 2, 3 triple bump right there? 1, 2, 3. That's Earth. Impact. Good. Load that up real quick. Let our little gray bar race across. And bingo was his name-o. Slide a little bit. Whoa. Come back here, cowboy. All right, so first shockwave. Bam, right there. Now you can see our 1, 2, 3 configuration right here. All right, first we'll make an impact right here at the 10th. The transition, the 9th to the 10th. That would be like right now. So, right around this time frame, impact, a second and then a third. Now, we'll continue. That one a little side swiping, but here it doesn't go north or south. It's still hitting us right on. Okay, so and that kind of main part of the energy is to the left. There's that one slight impact. Okay, I'll take that instead of direct hit. Then there's your third kind of weaker right there. So a 3 in a row, 1, 2, 3 punch. And that'll all hit the geomagnetic field, get absorbed to the core, and then we will have reverberations as far as earthquakes, volcanoes, and then all the other great side effects that come with that. It's like a cascading effect. All right, now let's get into this. Here we are, Geomagnetic Storm Watch updated. The geomagnetic storms are possible for the next 3 days, the 10th through the 12th, and in response to the series of CMEs now heading for Earth. NOAA forecasters are predicting moderate G2 class storms. Multiple impacts in quick succession could escalate the storm to Category 3. If so, mid-latitude auroras might appear in the USA and Europe. X-class solar flare and halo CME updated the active sunspot 3777 just produced its most powerful solar flare yet, the X 1.3 explosion on August 8th. Okay, so jackpot. 3777 did the X1.3. The radiation from the flare ionized the top of Earth's atmosphere and caused a shortwave radio blackout from North America to the Hawaiian Islands. So, right over the Pacific there. All right. And that was yesterday. But going over it again, just real quick. What was the other thing I wanted to point out here? Oh, the multiple impacts in quick succession. So, I need that pulled back up again, don't I? Yeah, I do. Where's this one? These multiple impacts in succession like this. If I could just get this instrument pulled up. I forgot to talk about this really quick. So first impact, please, a little bit bigger display will work. I don't even need to load it. The first impact, all right, gets absorbed. It could cause grinding down below, weakening the magnetic field. Thus, the second impact could have more effect. Or these two impacts could really do a whammy down at the core level, and this one would be absorbed. All right, but look at what we got here. We got a separation of events. Hopefully, it's quick enough to where any kind of absorption from this event won't have effects down at the core level that quick in the 24-hour span. But I've seen that gap close and have quicker results, quicker effects. See what I'm saying? This gapping, this first one, if we absorb that and it goes, some of the energy goes to the core swells and our field gets weak. We start grinding right about here, and the field gets weak when this second wave hits. See what I'm saying? So this gapping might be we'll see. Hopefully it's not too bad. The second wave was the weaker one, so we'll see how it plays out. But there is that propensity or that potential, let's just say there. Okay, so the gapping, and some of these things will cannibalize. The X flare is faster. It might come up from behind and push those other ones together, and then your gap will be a lot shorter. Okay. Now let's get over to the Schumann and start talking about that. Please, Lord. Please, Jesus, thank you. All right, last night we left off with this little event right here. This looks like the passage of another magnetic field interfering with ours. I don't see any kind of tapering up to it or tapering out of it, and I do see this like weak little blip right before it. Almost like when you introduce two magnets to each other, nothing until you start to feel a little tug or a little interaction, we'll say, right? So this little dip right before that, right outside that white barrier right there, you can just barely make it out. Can't really zoom in on this instrument. Since then, we had good continuity, a little bit of grinding, a little loss of data right there. Gets a little weak right here, but then come back to life, and then some weakness right in this zone right now. Okay, see how it's blue? It's not so vibrant green. So we don't have, the best continuity, but it's nothing like the roller coaster ride that we had yesterday. Okay, so a little bit less intense, still a little up and down, but nothing like this yesterday, okay? And that was gnarly. I don't know if you guys understand it or feel it, but these things can impact people different ways, all right? So, and then the weakness in the field also makes people irritable too, okay? They forgot to put the Schumann resonance on a spacecraft, and the two astronauts went nuts and killed each other. It makes you insane and want to kill. So we need a good, strong, vibrant 7.83. We need good continuity, and by that I mean just one solid green line. None of this up and down, intense, and then nothing. And then okay, so we get hit with the first CME, and then about 6 hours later, it starts grinding. Well, 6 hours later, this other CME isn't due to hit until 24 hours later. Where'd it go? right here, right? So we could be grinding at that time in a low magnetic field. Let's just pray that it doesn't happen and that that first impact isn't at, whoops, wrong instrument. Go back to this one, please. That this first impact doesn't affect it. Right now, we're getting a little weakness, but it's coming out of it. We're starting to get good continuity once out of this little weak field, I think. Okay. And then that was an indication pressure too built up, started grinding. All right, some event happened. I think probably just lost data right there for for 20 minutes or something, and then came back on. A little bit of grinding here. This is at lower frequency. This is down, 7.83 hertz. This is even less than that. Okay, so a lot easier day. We were on the kiddie coaster instead of riding the demon. Okay, I told you about the that roller coaster. If I could just get to the other side of the highway and grab that exit close sign, man. That's what I'm doing with this show. Really. It's like I've got the off ramp close sign now, and I'm over here on YouTube waving it in front of the off ramp. Okay, here we go. Meanwhile, we have our storm up here exiting the U.S. A lot of flooding, a lot of damage with that one, but finally done with Debbie. Done with Debbie. Debbie the Dunner. Meanwhile, we still have this storm just sitting there kind of gyrating there, doing nothing. You can see our storm track, our little plume, or our conveyor belt structure. Hang on, let me see something at the door here. You want to come in or what? Ay, caramba. All right, we got critters around here. All right, back to the report. Meanwhile, we got this big old storm here still off the coast of Japan, swirling away. Look what's hitting China. All right, Beijing had some gnarly flooding. I just showed you in the opening. Okay, they're Mother Nature gonna take them out. Actually, Father Nature. So there's your kind of storm track stuff. Now let me get over to the sandstorm and just get on it. Particulates. Thank you, Lord. All right, here we go. So you see this intense part right here. See this gap right there with another plume? Watch out. That could be area of weakness right there. This storm starting to circulate out here could suck away some of the sand and create a gap. All right, you can see it's still reaching out, rotating a little bit that way, but your plume is severed off into two like balls, two spheres or whatever. Okay, one of them heading this way, the other one coming off the coast. It does it does quench some of the hurricane production. Okay, kills the convection of the thunderstorms that create the hurricanes. I'm gonna chase this guy up Mexico, through Texas into Canada. Go on, get. All right. As you can see, it spreads out, goes up through the country, been pulled over into the Pacific now. Our gyre, our conveyor belt system pulls it in. Okay, so sand going all the way across like that. Sorry. And then we got over here, a little gap in there, but Saudi Arabia, Yemen region, this southern fetch coming off the southern hemisphere, crossing the equator now and going into the northern hemisphere. Uncalled for, but happening anyway. And you can see how it's pulling the sand off and stuff. We get sand coming off of Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman still suffering. Look at these patches all the way up there. They're like little curly cues or whatever. And you can see storm systems grab this sand, pull it up, spread it all around. As it comes off here, it's been pummeling India. It can't clear the Himalayas. So it dips down below the Himalayas and then goes out across. A lot of this concentrated sand particulates, making for heavier water precipitation. And when you have a storm like this and intense sand plumes, it can add for heavier downpours, heavier amounts, right? And we just saw the flash flooding, extreme flooding that's going on there. Okay? They better wise up, and I'm telling you quick, or else it don't stand a chance. Okay, let's move on and get on over here to our SO4, please. SO2, please. Thank you. Don't want to do SO4 tonight. Okay, let's go into the country divided. Right there, one side bleeding out. Actually doing a little bit better up in this region and up there. All through here, clearing up a little bit. This side, all volcanic perforations in the crust and everything. Okay, so there goes your country divided. Maybe these guys will pull their heads out of their butt and we can be the United States of America, not the divided States of America. All right, we're going to do a little fire report at the same time here. Pull up the fires. Thank you. Now, the issue is SO2 is surrounding magma down below, causing fires at the surface. Okay, a lot of fires up here in Canada, all because the SO2 emissions are so hot that when they come out of the ground, they cause the vegetation next to it to spontaneously combust and catch on fire. Some of these emission sites, this is SO2, but methane is another gas that comes up from down below, okay, from volcanic activity. And methane is so hot that and it's a gas that's flammable, that when it hits the air, it catches on fire and comes out of the ground already on fire. Okay, I'm sure you've seen swamps that are boiling and you see flames coming out of the middle of the water in the swamp. How's that happening? That's methane on fire coming out from underneath. Okay, and now we have SO2 emissions causing fires as well, and it's crept down from the Canada region into Washington, down into Oregon, now down into California. Okay, all the way down the Park Fire, this fire. Okay, even down here at Southern California, when they had their big fire, there was a little spot there when it was over here. Okay, so a lot of this fire activity is being sparked from underground, right? And we have hot weather drying out any kind of vegetation, right? So you got dry vegetation, and then you got hot gas come out right next to it that's 2,000, 3,000 degrees. It's just going to cook that bush really quick and spark a fire. And you see how many perforation sites are over here, but this fire activity hasn't really jumped the line here yet. There were one day where it looked like it was starting to cross this line, but it pulled back. So there's your fire activity, your fire report. Very, very intense up here in Canada. Let me take the little thing off. You can see a lot of this activity. And you won't be able to put it out. I mean, once you put the fire out, you still got to deal with the hot gas coming out of the ground. So it'll probably eventually burn everything in the area, and then the fire will go out because there's just nothing left to burn, and you'll just have the gas emissions there. All right, so, and then, like I said, crept down into the northern part of Oregon, or into Oregon, Washington, northern part of California. And it's it went down into Mexico for a minute, but it seems like it's retreated. Meanwhile, over here, they got their issues too. Let me just do that. Okay, so it's not just us. Russia's having their issues with fires being sparked by SO2 emissions. Okay. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. Otherwise, it'd cause chaos. People would lose their minds and can't handle the truth. And are you kidding me? That's a lion right there. That is a lion right there. Oh, okay. I'm telling you, when sometimes we see some spiritual events and stuff going on here in the weather, but that is amazing. The mane is like the continents and everything. Here's the mouth, the nose, the eyes, the nose coming down the tip of it. You can even make out where the whiskers are. What? Well, it doesn't surprise me. This is God's handiwork, okay? You guys have seen the lions in the clouds. You've seen them. I pointed out a lot of lion stuff, okay? So this should not surprise here at this channel. No one else would see this stuff, you guys, because they don't know. They don't believe. They don't understand. They don't see. But look at that. Wow. Oh, no wonder why I had me praying extra tonight. Let's give it some. Okay, yeah, pareidolia. Yep. What's this one called? Liondolia? Because isn't it supposed to be seeing human faces, not cat faces, lion faces? This is all spiritual. You can't tell me pareidolia crap anymore, dude. I have fixed too many doctors and people of that problem. Let's continue on now. Let's take the fires off. Let's come on over here. Nice smile, by the way. Back up for their time frame. And we will dive on into China, who's got, intense emissions coming out of the ground there. They have sinkhole problems. I saw some footage out of Hunan, or not, out of Wuhan, laboratory town, Wuhan. Huge sinkholes just falling into the ground. It looked weird. I'm like, what's going on in this video? Why is everything moving weird? And then I realized they're sinking. They're filming a sinkhole while they're sinking in another one, which is the oddest looking video. And you're not lying. Yeah, you're not lying. I like it. All right, back to this. Here we go. SO2 emissions coming out of Taiwan right here because we haven't had a quake in this region in a while. Okay. This pressure has come up through this region, down in through the Korean Peninsula now. See, they're having intense SO2 emissions. Look, they got some sites. This little speck right there, that middle one, and then this one up here. 1, 2, 3. So watch out in those little places there, Korean Peninsula. We've seen Japan have its issues. And then where they had their quake, right here at the south end of the island, look, there's no SO2 emission spot right here. This is all drifted from the wind. So if there was a SO2 emission spot, we probably would have relieved pressure, not had that big of a quake there. Okay, meanwhile, we got SO2 emissions coming out of the northern island of the Philippines here. And we come over here to check Java. It's been our gauge as far as pressure. And the coloration of it is, it's pretty dark up here. A little lighter down this region, but you can see these little volcanic islands. Even here to Australia are all emitting SO2. Okay, because a lot going on. Very intense spot at the tip of Malaysia. As we go up into India, their stuff is darkened. Whoa. Whoa. Look how dark this is now. Right here, down here. Yeah, their region is darkened up. This spot over here, too. Some of this has as well. Trying to give you the exact colorage. I don't want to cheat and use tint to deceive you. Trying to get you perfect coloration or tint so you get the actual reading. Color hits your eye, receives in the back of your optic nerve, goes to your brain deciphers it and goes, that looks more intense than the light part does. All right, just a little peek at the top of the world. All right, so now we're going to come over to the water temperature anomalies. Everybody take a deep breath. Back over to here. Is this today's date? August 8th. Well, can we get a little bit further than that? 5 days? 1 day? Nope. That's our earliest data. Still this little structure right here. I've seen this guy doing this in the clouds before. He's like blowing a trumpet. He's got something that he's holding. He's holding it up to his mouth and he's blowing through it. All right, that's your heat signature, by the way, coming off the ocean floor. We have magma, we have steam, we have all kinds of hot water, nickel, cesium, radioactive elements coming up from way down below, coming out of the mid-Atlantic rift there, causing this huge heat plume. Meanwhile, over here, this one by the Pacific is definitely getting more organized, comma shape right here, very defined tail, very defined blob area up the top here, okay? And what concerns me here is we're getting this battle of hot and cold going on right here. And actually, this cold water has made a little resurgence fighting back. We have these little heat plumes growing off the coast here, but cold water's coming in, kind of surrounding it instead of getting pushed back. So that's good. Still, this little heat plume down by LA. Watch that area. That's why they had those quakes in that region. And then you can, well, that's a bay. That we can't count that. Meanwhile, that one very defined comma shape. Over here, we got this area right here. This is Tamumasi. It's the biggest volcano on the planet. It's doing its job as far as venting a lot of pressure. It's also, pumping a lot of hot water, right? And it makes the water at the surface hot, which coincides, makes the air over that region hot. And then we got colder areas where colder air. So these things would correlate pretty much with air temperatures as well. And when you got hot air rising, cold air comes to replace it, and then you get a vortex. So there is your heat signature structure for the Pacific right there. I showed you the Atlantic. Let's take a peek at the top of the world, shall we? Very warm water up here by the northern coast of Siberia, the way up here by the Arctic Circle, hot water anomalies, okay? And even here, North Pole, we're having heat signatures through the ice and everything from down below. See it? And then here, the northern coast of Canada, all up through here, the Hudson Bay. That's all supposed to be cold water. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wind patterns on because these these heat plumes are controlling our air circulation now. No. Other direction. Wrong one. Wind, not air. There we go. Okay, watch closely how this conveyor belt structure is matching our heat plume. All right, those are the air currents being controlled now by our heat plumes coming off the ocean floor, causing heat plumes in the water, causing heat plumes in the air. The air rises, cold air comes to replace it, and creates rotation. Okay, and we have this big conveyor belt type structure out here going around like this. Thankfully, we have sandstorms, but we get a break in the sandstorm here that allows convective activity to happen, and then we get a hurricane. That's how we got this one. Was when we had a little break in the in the uh, in the sandstorm there. This is old information. This is from the 8th, right there, and I don't think we can go a day sooner because it takes a minute for the computer to put all this. Well, a lot of data goes into this map, so it's always a day later. But that's our activity right there, and you can see how it caused our hurricane to come up like this. All right. Lately, our southern fetch, this outside belt, outside loop, I would call it, has kind of diminished. This vorticity is taking air from down here and going the opposite way, and then anything that comes in getting shoved down here. Now that this has moved north, I'm sure this area probably has probably resumed. We'll see tomorrow. It's too bad this is one day behind, but just got to deal with what we got. So there's your heat signature there. Let's come on over to the Pacific here. All right, you can see rotation right around this heat structure. Okay, and it's taking all the air and driving it down and back out. So no storms really penetrating through and getting into the west coast. It comes right up to the edge, or comes right up to this area, and then does 180 because of this heat signature. And it's created this like dome of just non-weather in that area. Everything else comes up from the south and from the north, and like I showed you, the country bisected right here. There we enjoy nice weather while that side's getting hurricanes and everything. So over here, well, we did that one, we did this one. Here, let's come over to you see hot, cold, our vortex structure forming right here. This might spell bad news for Japan. That thing comes drifting up through here and gets caught up in this stream and goes bam. So pray for the people of Japan. They're getting hit by earthquakes. They're getting hit by volcanoes. They're getting hit by typhoons, and even people in China. So that hasn't hit yet, but that was yesterday's pattern. You got to remember that was yesterday's pattern. Now, down here by Java, really quick, it's the relief valve down here, and pressure gets released. We can take off the wind, and you see our little cold patch here, okay? We get cold water inundation because pressure is being relieved here by Semeru and Merapi, and there was a new one out here, too, on East Java. Anyways, we'll get to that in the volcano report. All righty, one more time with the with the structure. Just stabbing. Oh. Sorry, I get stabbing pains. There we go. So there is there's your wind pattern structure being caused by the thermal anomalies in the ocean. All right. No longer is your lower and upper jet stream controlling the weather. It's the lower jet stream. This is a lower jet stream, a lower conveyor belt jet stream structure that's reaching up. We also have atmospheric compression coming from the sun too, which is pushing our atmosphere down on all sides. Then we got this pushing back up. All right. So now the thermal structure is taking over the weather. Our weather is controlled by this, no longer by our jet streams. Let me do that too. I want to do this standard surface temperature, okay? And do you see how well it correlates with that? Our thermal anomalies are changing the standard surface temperatures. This should be all yellow and green, not a big old red hot spot in the North Atlantic. Do you see what I'm saying? And now this Gulf, without that cold water patch that is gone, all this area is heating up. Okay, they're lucky that this hurricane went up this side and didn't go through there. What was it we saw? I can't think of which hurricane. Lord help me. So many names now. We had one that came in here and intensified to from a 1 to a category 4 just in a short little jaunt through here. What was that one? We see this bombogenesis now too, the quick intensifying of a storm, right? You can see why this storm is just sitting there, right? It hasn't done anything. It's just sitting there stewing away, right? You see this heat signature reaching up into here. See this structure right here coming up? That's your sea surface temperature anomaly factor affecting your standard global surface temperature. You see yellow down here? This should be all red. And this should be all yellow. But it's the other way around, isn't it? It's the other way around, isn't it? I repeat, it's the other way around, isn't it? Now, back with your wind patterns. Do you see how they correlate? It's not too tough. The colors, the motion, everything is there for you. You can believe me or not, you are mature adults who are very wise now. For those who've been at this channel for a while, you have discernment. You can make a mature decision of what you should do. Okay. I would suggest getting back from the coastlines. I would suggest listening to Mike from Council of Time or Mike from around the world. Same gentleman. Okay. He's trying to warn you and trying to tell you too. See, he knows what's going on out here too. And we discussed the hypercane. Okay, he talks about the hypercane. I'm going to discuss the hypercane. Okay, we have this structure going on right here, and it's intensifying and intensifying and intensifying. We are only in the first, well, we're 10 days into August now. We still have 21 days of August. We still have all of September and part of October of thermal heating from the sun. It's usually just the thermal heating from the sun that heats up the ocean and causes our hurricane production. No longer is that the case. It's our thermal plumes underneath that are inducting heat into the system, causing your conveyor belt type structure. Now, at this point, with these heat signatures, the way they are, let me pull up this thing, and so you get a full grasp. You see this color bar right here. Cold, green, yellow. Here we're getting into warm, then intensely warm, purple, and then white. Purple being intense, okay? Pretty self-explanatory there. You're just so you understood the color pattern was indeed what you were thinking. And as we see here, it's affecting this conveyor belt. All right, we got this conveyor belt type structure that's going on out here. Sand is, hindering the convection, but that won't, if you know, hopefully that continues, but it probably won't last forever. And at this time, we should be seeing, 8 to 10 hurricanes rotating around this structure, evenly spaced. But we've dodged that bullet with all the sandstorms. Eventually, if this heat plume continues and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and more intense, okay, out here, we could see after that kind of effect where we'd see multiple hurricanes riding around on a carousel with little horses and little rides on it, little things all rotating around on a carousel. Then we could entertain the hypercane, which would be, a bigger heat anomaly, but the structure would be the outside wall of the conveyor belt would now be the eye wall, and you would have an eye sitting out here in the middle, okay? And the structure would be so intense, it might even suck in cold air from space too. So that we would have to take that into consideration as well. So there is your structure for right now. It's very organized, it's well defined. We haven't had any new interruptions lately, so you see our well defined, organized conveyor belt type structure going to town now. Okay. One last time with where to go? Oh, it was SO2. Let's go back an hour. Oh, wait. We were still in their time. Now it changed. Oh, I went too far ahead. That's what I went. I was trying to capture that lion face one more time. How about now? There it is. The Lion of the tribe of Judah. See the eyes spinning a little bit there. All right, very, very interesting. Nobody else does an SO2 report, so that must be for you and me. Huh? Because nobody else does an SO2 report. Any kind of image that would ever be seen on this, like, you think NASA's like, oh yeah, big giant lion face? No. That's just for you and me. Little gift. Reassure you there's somebody on a much larger scale, on a much grander scale, that the Earth is just, well, a lion head. Rawr. All right, let's move on. You guys are fun. I love you. Let's kick ass on an earthquake report real quick. All right. Here we go. Hold on to your britches. Deep quake region. Please, Lord. 4.3 down at 403. 5.6 down at 593. There's a good jump in magnitude right there. Indication of pressure down deep, right? 593. We're seeing a jump in magnitude. Usually mid-range 4. That's a little bit above the 5, mid-range 5. Right next to it, 4.8 down at 590. A 4.5 down at 531. And a 4.6 down at 516. And all the coyotes just went nuts out in the meadow. Wow. All right, so multiple deep quakes today. What was the depth on that one? 403. So not as deep right there, but all of these nice and deep with a good jump in magnitude right there. Big pressure indicator right there. So we had pressure down deep, got relieved. It's coming up to the surface, setting off like 5 at the surface. What do we do with 4.9s? What do we do with 4.9s? A little above a 5 because we had a bigger than normal deep quake. So what do we do with 9s? That's probably magnitude 6 right around there. Okay, very quiet through this region. We have SO2 coming out of this little island right here, which relieves pressure as it comes in through here. All right, so we go up through here. We also have a lot of SO2 emission on that island, so very quiet through there. This is one to check, I think, 5.0, but it's down at 88. I don't see any seamounts. That's 5 energy. Just didn't make, whoops, sorry. Lord, please help me with my fingers. I have to get surgery. My hands are numb. Pinch nerves in my neck and my back, my hips. Here we go. Fulcrum point quake 4.2 at 20. So numb hands is hard to scroll and do. 4.3 at 10. Get back down here. In Iran, 4.3 at 10 in Iran. Energy being scrubbed at the surface there. Coming over here, 4.8 in Greece. A little further down at 41. See our little pit area right there, how it's a little deeper right in this area. That's where our little plate boundary quake or plate boundary goes through there. Remember we were talking about this table last night and how this is a fulcrum point type area? If we're pushing down that way. Okay, bingo, 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 bingo. Now let's work our way up through here. Our weak spot that we always talk about here, we have big quakes, getting a 4.5 there. A little further south here, 4.8, these little volcanic islands down at 95, another 4.6 down at 38. This is all on the flank of volcanoes because we had pressure down deep. It makes earthquakes happen at volcanic sites. This is a very important fulcrum point right here, and it actually severs and comes out over here and makes another plate. This whole thing, like a shovel, took this plate that used to connect right here and push it to tink and severed it for a minute. So this fulcrum point would have connected down here. And this one would have connected up here to the top of Taiwan. So that's why this is a very important fulcrum point. It's a weak spot, and lately it's been jammed up. It hasn't been relieving a lot of quakes in that area. So when they do, they back up, and we got off of this side now, a 4.8 on the boundary at 10 here. So when this thing locks up and it's not relieving pressure, we get stuff that's, just south of it that's been relieving temperature and pressure and stuff in that area. That's a new one right there. We'll have to watch that little spot too. This whole thing right here that's been pushed out, do you see what I'm saying? How it used to be like, used to connect like this, and then God came along with a little shovel and crunch and pushed those islands up and severed these plate boundaries, making one set of its own from the tip of Taiwan down here to the tip of the northern island of the Philippines. This is all one plate. Look at this. Let me show you something really quick. This plate boundary going up right through here across Taiwan. This is all city. All city. Okay? This whole side of the island is all one big city, and you see the plate boundary going right through the middle of it. If we had a severe quake on a plate boundary rupture right there, that could do a lot of damage to a lot of people here. Let me just kind of show you. This is just city and people and all kinds of, some fields right here. As we back up. All through here is all city, so a lot of people there. All right, let me pull back this slow. Now, for our bigger quake of the day, whoops, a little further up. 4.8 right here, almost on the fulcrum. It's down a little deeper. It's on the volcanic ridge. Here we go. We were talking about this fulcrum point the other night. All right. Three-way boundary, very intense, weak spot right here. Okay, three-way joining with a volcano right here, Mount Fuji. And I was saying that not a good place to build a city because you got all that right there. What happens today? A 5.0 down at 24 right there. That probably rattled these people's nerves a little bit. They're like, nope, here we go again. Now, the big activity actually happened up here today off of this peninsula. All right, we were talking about these two peninsula plates and how this upper one is starting to have motion in it now. Well, this is the upper peninsula plate up here at the heart of it. This 6.5 is down at 406. This little pit area, if you guys have been paying attention for a while, is known for some deep quakes, all right? Except the deep quakes in this region don't usually generate a bigger quake at the surface. This is a 6.5 down at 406. All right. It still has the propensity or has the capacity to produce a bigger quake at the surface, but I don't think we're going to see one because this little pocket is deeper and it has a tendency to just quake one good deep one. So you see the structure of this underwater bowl here, right? We got plateaus that come off the island and go around it and stuff. And then we got this bowl type structure that goes down in there. Okay. And right in that weak zone, right where it looks like almost this area may have slid away at one time. I don't see a, well, anyways, it sure is a weak spot. And down at 406, a 6.5. I also want to tap this just real quick. You guys are being so patient. Thank you. Some of you enjoy this. Other people are waiting. 6.8 here. That's why I want to tap this. 6.8. The other one said 6.5. That's a big difference. Okay, Japan had that big one, and then they announced a mega quake alert, right? Well, watch out right north. They just had a pretty good sized one. All right. That was it as far. Oh, wait, we got to come over here. Plate boundary quake real quick. 4.9. That's a 5. Almost a fulcrum. Well, no, it's just inside of the plate boundary, but 4.9 at the surface or a 5, relieving energy out there. That's good. Over here, 4.6 at the surface, relieving energy. That's a plate boundary quake too, because that plate comes back in. Where else? New quake real quick over here. Another 5 at the surface over here by Tonga. So that deep quake down there still producing energy at the surface with a new 5 just now. Okay. No, I'm not picking my nose. That is a quake at the tip of Greenland. A 4.5 at the surface of Greenland here. There is your diverse quake of the day. It's not on a plate boundary, no volcanic site there. I want it to stick out. There we go. All right. Very odd quake because all the pressure in the region. Remember, I showed you the heat plumes and everything that's going on there, right? And pressure into that region. Well, now we're seeing earthquakes at Greenland. I repeat, earthquakes at Greenland. All right, moving on. So we covered everything else, right? Okay, now let's get into America, all magnitude in blue. Okay, after this, no fulcrum point quake. If this, we had deep activity in this region pushing energy to the surface, probably right about there is where we would see any kind of residual quake from it. And there's nothing. We have a lot of volcanic activity on the Kamchatka that relieves pressure in that region. Okay. So as we come on over here, you can see all our little yellow dots along the volcanic islands here. Earthquake activity at volcanic islands is an indicator of pressure down below. The other side of the plate barrier or boundary there, 2.7 down at 15. Ooh, right on the shelf edge, 3.8. Okay, something else to think about. These plateaus like this, clear that out, please. These plateaus like this one has a rough edge. You see how it's kind of jagged and stuff like that, but some of these have really smooth, uniformed edges. And when you get a quake that's really shallow on the corner of this table, okay, it's like a table, like a plateau with a cliff wall going down to the crack in the ocean floor down here. Okay, so cliff wall, tabletop. these well-defined edges that are really sharp and 90 degrees, you get an earthquake on the edge of that, it can cause a landslide. Underwater landslide from a small quake that we're not even aware of could cause a tsunami, and you wouldn't even be aware of it. Meanwhile, that's not what's going on here, but this is a 3.8 at 4.7, close to the tabletop, close to the corner, the edge right there, okay? I always kind of like to check that region just for magnitude, and we had 3.8 there. Multiple fulcrums, one right there, the plate boundary right there, the bay, the mountain range behind the bay, this other mountain range back there, and then there's another fulcrum back in there, and then another one back in there. Okay, now you can see them. Boom, 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 like multiple waves, all because of this push going up that way. Okay. Help me, Lord, what are we doing? I wanted a magnitude check on. Oh, what's our biggest one here? That 2.6, 2.9. This little valley right here, this little region, because it's volcanic. All right. Sorry, we got to kind of do it one click at a time. This computer's old and slow like me. All right, let's do it to it. Nothing on the Juan de Fuca. Very disturbing. I want to see some kind of activity on the Juan de Fuca, all right? Not because I want to see a tsunami wipe out the West Coast. No, we need to relieve pressure in that region. We need to relieve pressure. Whoops, sorry, Mr. Lion. We got to come over to the ocean thing again. That's why I wanted to leave that there. We need to relieve pressure in that region, okay? See this blue water, the cold water inundation is that zone inside this plate boundary. Okay, so everything outside that plate boundary, or this one right here, running the coastline, everything outside that is all this heat and pressure. Maybe we got something so relieving so much pressure. There's a vent on the ocean floor here that's got a big plume or something that's relieving the pressure, and we're not having earthquakes because of that new weak spot out here venting something. Okay. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of a lot of heat means a lot of venting going on down below as a result of pressure. And that thin little band right there is kind of this region inside this plate barrier, keeping that area cool. All right. We need to see some mid-range 4s, mid-range 5s out here to relieve pressure, and we'll be okay. As long as we start relieving pressure, or else it could build up and we'd see something kind of, catastrophic. Energy does come in, fulcrum point, but it shoves down this plate or down this fracture zone. It doesn't want to turn the corner, so it pushes inland, and we get quake activity inland here. 2.6 nothing. Up here, top of the valley, not your normal area for quakes. Shasta Lake, how close to the volcano are we? Oh, there's the volcano. So it's a little further. This is almost your diverse quake again because, look, it's not on a fracture zone. Your energy comes in. See this red line? Your energy comes in this way. This is way up here. Your volcano's up here. This is not your normal activity right here. Next to Shasta Lake, this is I don't see anything volcanic really around it. So yeah, there's another diverse quake right there. And diverse means, it's not in your normal spot. It's not your normal activity. It's not at a volcanic spot, fracture zone, fault, anything like that. Meanwhile, guys are doing their job, quaking out, quick. 1.0 is good. Very quiet along the San Andreas today. Down at our weak spot here. Okay. It had a magnitude 5 and it's had what? Thousands of quakes or thousands of aftershocks. These aren't aftershocks. This is a quake swarm. And it's doing just fine. It's swarming out. Magnitude 2.7 is the biggest, and little 1.6s. That's awesome because it's relieving energy in that area via a quake swarm of smaller magnitude. Instead of, imagine if all those built up in one big quake and we had a 12.5 go off here. No, I'm joking, not 12.5, but that's a lot of energy that's come out of that area lately. So that's good. It's relieving pressure in that area in the form of small quakes. I know everybody's freaking out, going, "Oh my God, it's a sign of the big one down in Southern California." And we do have reason to be concerned down there because right offshore is a heat plume. Right here's your heat plume, and right there's your energy being released. Whew, good thing it's not over here in LA. So as we come on down, microquaking out through there, that's good. Come over to New Mexico, just a quick magnitude, 2.1. Okay, 2.2. Little thing in Texas, but not much. Nothing on the Craton today. All right, good. Quick check there. We did that one. 4.6, yeah. Magnitude check real quick. Oop, right where it should be. Oh, Hawaii. Oh dear. We're having a quake way up here by this island now. We want to keep them all on Hawaii. But that's okay. It's not a big quake. It's a 2.1, a 3. 2.0, 2.2, 2.2, 19. Whoops, let me get in. Where's a bigger one? Biggest is 2.2.1. And what's going on offshore? 2.3. Okay, so these aren't microquakes. These are 2.3s and 3, and there's a 2.9 or a 3 right there. Just want to keep it away from that island right there, okay? So good, good, good. Oh, what happened up here really quick? Please. So a 3.1 in Wyoming. Let's go in really quick here. This is very close or closer to the surface. We got fracture zones and little fault lines that run through here. See these pressure ridges and fault lines that run here and here. This one that runs right up the middle. This one that runs right up the middle. Bing. Comes right up through here. And bingo, 3.1 in Wyoming. Let's watch this little area here. It's next to the park, so. Okay, that's it. Let's move on to our volcano report. You're like, whew. And then we can get to the weather, and then we can get to the good part. All right, come on, close out, please. There we go. All right, Jesus, help us get a volcano page today, please. Oh, thank you. 34 and 30 is 64. There's another 26 at unrest as well. But I don't even count those because they're unrest. I'm worried about eruptions and activity. 64. If I'd have told you 7 years ago when this started happening to me that we would have 64 volcanoes, you would have said, Brian, you are crazy. And here we are, 64, and I am still crazy about you. Let's get into the volcano, shall we? Somebody help me support them. I have no access to money, so I can't do anything. Luatobi, 9,000 feet. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ninth. What do you know today? Okay. Luatobi, 9,000. August 9th. All right, let's open it. Damn it, August 9th then. One's August 9th and the other is August 9th. So, as we wait for this, here we go. Sakurajima in Japan, they're having eruptions out of Sakurajima, 9,000 feet. Suwanosi-jima, 6,000 feet. Karangetang in Indonesia, coming back to life. The heavy rainfall caused rock and lava avalanches on the main road. Please, Lord, can we scroll? Please, let it work. IBU, Ibu reported an eruption, but no height. Luatobi, 9,000 feet. Semaru, 15,000. It's usually its thing. Dukono, 8. White Island, blah, blah, blah. New Zealand, minor ash. Those guys in New Zealand, might want to pack up and try a different island. Songhai, explosive activity, 21,000 feet. Reventador, 14,000 feet. And Sabancaya at 23,000 feet. There's the list. I'm not going to say it tonight. All that ash, all that moisture, heat, plumes in the ocean, evaporating water into the air in the form of water vapor. Water vapor needs a particle to stick to form a raindrop. We got all kinds of particulates. We got SO4, we got sand, we got all kinds of different particulates. The particulates would be the sponge, and the humidity would be the water. We've got a bigger bucket of water and a bigger sponge now. So every time we squeeze the sponge, more water comes out. Every time we have a storm, they're heavier, they're bigger producers. So many factors now that this is no longer really viable after 3 days because our solar activity enhances storm activity as well. So we have to rely on what's coming off the sun. So we have back here, just come on back to Big Buddy. All right, our little reminders. G2, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Okay. So as we go into our weather forecast, here's the nighttime of the 9th. So we're going into the 10th. G2 potential as that moves out, the morning, noon, afternoon, or convection, and nighttime. Going into the 11th, possible enhancement of anything. Even though that looks like rain, it could be a lot of rain. Noon, the 11th, convection. There's nighttime. We do have we do have severe weather, so intensification of that possibly on the nighttime of the 11th is our nearest event. Going into the morning time, August 12th here. If we have G2, say if it's even stronger, I pray it's not. I pray we don't get any at all. But there could be enhancement to morning time activity on the 12th, catching people off guard here in Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, up into Minnesota. That'll be the noon time the 12th with enhancement possible. That'll be convection the 12th. What the? Okay. Convection the 12th and nighttime the 12th. Possible enhancement there. Okay. Into the possible enhancement as far as our forecasted geomagnetic storm adding to anything else. Okay. Going into the 13th now. Morning, noon, convection, nighttime. 14 noon, convection, nighttime. 15 noon, convection, nighttime. 16 noon, convection, nighttime. 17 noon, convection, nighttime. 18, is that a question mark? Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 19th. Noon, convection, nighttime 20, noon, convection, nighttime 21, noon, convection, nighttime of the 21st, 22, noon, convection, nighttime 23, noon, convection, nighttime 24, noon, convection, nighttime 25, noon, convection, nighttime. All right, so let that play real quick. So we got a lot of a lot of factors contributing to our weather. All right, severe weather happening all around the world. Really bad flash floods, really large hail, heavy winds, storms. So when these storms come through your area, take them seriously. Okay, now I got stuff pulled out for us to read. And then I got, that's okay. We got something special tonight. Well, you'll like this. Most of you have already seen it anyway, but we got to recover this. So hang on just a second. I need to be able to use my left hand here. All right, I pull up this really quick here. Where we go? Go. I found a much better version of this now, and we're gonna do some audio here. Okay. Most of you have already heard this, I think, but it's just a good, healthy reminder. So let me get my speaker set up here just a little bit, because we gotta do some audio in this. If you guys haven't heard this yet and you want to hear it closer, use some headphones. I will try to leave the link of this in the description, so you can come over here to this site yourself and do what I'm about to do here. Okay. Now this is a paranormal event in the clouds. All right, captured. And what I want to do, the paranormal, the supernatural world happens at different speeds. Okay, and different dimensions. So some of these EVPs, which is an electromagnetic voice print, was attached to this video. The gentleman taking it or the lady taking it had no idea. They don't hear these voices, but this voice is attached electromagnetically through their digital recording process. Let me see if we can just get it right about here. And do we have power for that speaker? All right. Before we do this, a slight little volume test too. So.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
All right. Sorry about the language. I'm not going to try to delete it out tonight. It is what it is.
I think power is. That's good.
Okay, so we're going to start over. The very opening frame, when he comes out and you see the lightning, there's a message in there, and it's at 3/4 speed. So we're going to back it down to 3/4, 0.75, okay, so you can hear this message a little clearer.
Oh.
He is the Christ who's coming quickly. So let's try it again. Sorry, we're going to have to do this a few times.
Oh.
Hopefully you heard that. He is the Christ who's coming quickly. Now that's the easy part of this message. The opening part is a little slower. It's at 0.25. And the opening phrase says, Jesus Christ is close. Now listen closely. Or Jesus is close. Jesus Christ is close. I know it's warbled and stuff, but you'll have to come over here and try this because this is what's really going on. So. Okay, you can hear the bing bong boom and then close. All right, so that's the opening. Then we're going to put it back at 0.75. So it opens with Jesus Christ is close. Then you hear the wind kick in and say, the wolf. Then the message, he is the Christ who's coming quickly. So the whole thing is Jesus Christ is close, the wolf. He is the Christ who's coming quickly. So here we go at 0.75. Back it up and listen closely. This is a good message.
Go.
Jesus Christ is close. The wolf, or the word. It's hard to decipher because it's in the wind. The wind actually says that. Listen to this. It's not the digital. It's the wind.
Go.
All right. Then we have our profanities. And then there's another event. Let me just go ahead and put the settings back to normal for a minute. I'm going to turn it way back down because there's some profanity.
Good shit, guys. I think Howard does.
That's twice a show.
Oh no. Holy fucking shit. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get video of it because I'll bring it right. Holy fuck.
Okay, there was two images, one here, and then it jumps and puts the staff down with a lightning bolt. In this sequence, there's another EVP message.
No, I don't know. Oh.
We're going to have to slow that one down a little bit to 0.5. So right about here. Okay, we'll try to get this.
Oh.
Okay, you hear the wind say, here, here. Actually, that could be sped up a tad bit more. We're too slow on that one. Actually, that can be played normal. Now listen closer.
Holy fuck.
Sorry about the French.
No, I don't know.
Sorry.
Holy fuck.
Here. Well, previous to the here, let's do 7.5. Right about here, it starts to say Jesus in the flesh. Right now. And when that lightning bolt staff touches down is the word now. So everything right before it is Jesus in the flesh right now. And then the wind says here. So there's a whole message in there. We got it slowed to 0.75. Let's try to capture the whole little message here and listen closely.
Holy fuck.
All right, well, I didn't play it 7.5, did it? Oh, it did. Anyways, right at this last little frame, Jesus in the flesh, here. Okay? That's a real event. All right, so we covered that. We covered this. Let me get the squeaking down, turn the speakers down, and get back to reading here. All right, so that event was a real event. It's important that you guys understand this stuff is happening in your clouds if you pay attention. Okay, we'll kind of turn it down a little bit.
Cool.
Hang on. One last time with this message.
Cool.
Okay? He is the Christ who's coming quickly. Hopefully you guys can hear that. That is a real video because the EVPs, nobody even knows about them. They don't even attach stuff like that. This guy had no idea it was being captured in the background, okay? I've captured many EVPs and I've had this activity happen to me. So I can testify to you that the spiritual realm does come through on your devices. And there's ghost hunters videos all over the place, all right? Anyways, important message. Jesus is close. The wolf, he is the Christ who's coming quickly. Then it says, Jesus in the flesh right now, here. Kind of like here. Let's go here. Because he's right here. One more time. Thank you. All right. In the clouds, just like in that video. Okay. Look up. You'll see him coming in the clouds. All right. Here's the clouds. Taken on Easter. 2,000-year-old prophecy came true on Easter. Okay. Happens to be my face. I've been through a lot, and these last, almost 7 years now. And the paranormal activity, supernatural activity that I've been through, I've learned a lot and going to pass it on to you. Get all curled up. For those of you who waited this long, take a deep breath. Hold it for a sec. Relax. We'll change the Skyman video back to mine. See, that scared a bunch of people away. They don't like that video. Oh, it's got profanity in it too, so. But it's still a real event. Okay, captured. That was not too long ago either. That's like one of our most recent supernatural events. All right.
If you want to lose weight and get in shape this summer without cutting...
Stop, dude. You really need to stop, dude. Okay. Let's see. We can go just tap it bigger on this one. On here. Let this video go just a tad bit. Zoom in a little bit more. Right there. That's probably good. Now you can see this image right here. Not too concerned about my face now. But right there, that image, Jesus pulling his shirt open like Superman, exposing the S, except he's exposing his heart. And it's radiating out these waves that are making my face in the sky. With this little crown up here on it. Because of who I am. All right, let's get her done. Whew. Everybody's asleep already. So, we're watching this world go nuts, going off, going crazy. It's growing increasingly dark. So, as we see a lot of stuff that's disturbing, and we have to take a break from that and realize that it's all for a reason. Okay, there's a higher purpose, and when you understand that higher purpose, then all of a sudden your world's not so bad. Okay, so as the world grows increasingly dark, I want you to remember that you are the light of the world. So don't waste energy lamenting over bad things over which you have no control. Pray about those matters, but refuse, I say, refuse to let them haunt your thoughts. As the world grows increasingly dark, don't let those matters, refuse to let those matters haunt your thoughts. Because they are. I hear you. I can hear you thinking, feeling, everything. So this is for some people in the audience right now. And they know who they are. So, again, don't waste energy lamenting over the bad things which you have no control. As the world grows increasingly dark, pray about those matters, but refuse to let them haunt your thoughts. Instead, focus your energies on doing what you can to brighten the place where I have put you. Okay, maybe you don't like the place I put you. It's dark and you're surrounded by a bunch of other people, but you are the one there to brighten that place. Do you understand? I want you, instead of focusing on the campaign and focusing on all the wars and all the other stuff, I need you to focus your energies on doing what you can to brighten the place where you live, the people around you. Okay, use your time, talents, and resources to push back against the darkness. You are a light that pushes back against the darkness. I have given you that power to do that. So go out and shine your light in the darkness. Okay, use your time. That's why I appreciate you giving me some time. Use your time, use your talents, and use what resources you have, into your personal own resources that you have, to push back against darkness. Shine my light into the world. I am the true light that shines on in the darkness, even in the most terrible condition. Oh, shall we get rid of that and get rid of that and get rid of that, because I forgot to pull up this, and we need that right there. Please, Lord. Yeah, I know. I clicked on it. Shame on me. There we go. My face right there. Get out of here. This is the one. My face shining on you. Your face does the same thing when you're in a positive vibe and you're being nice to people and you're helping people. Your face shines like mine does, okay? I want you to look at that face that's captured out by the moon. You all seen this video. It's me. I am the true light that shines on in the darkness, even in the most terrible conditions. Your light originates in me and reflects from you. It reflects from you just like this. Just like this. You can do this too. It reflects from you. So let my light reflect from you. Let your light that originates in me. Remember, your light originates in me. I gave you the hope and the face and all these signs, right? So, know that the light that you have originates in me and reflects from you. It actually reflects from you. You don't absorb light, you reflect light. You're not a black hole. You reflect light. You reflect my light. And I have called you to reflect my glory. You do this most effectively by becoming more and more fully the one I designed you to be. Okay, everybody's individual. You all got your own talents, your own characteristics, your own uniqueness. That's the you. I want the real you. Not the fake you that you put on for friends and family. you do this most effectively by becoming more and more fully the one I designed you to be. I need a sip of water here. The one I designed you to be can shine light into the darkness of the world. That's you, okay? You can kind of put your face up there too, because you can reflect my light and do the same thing, okay? I want you to spend ample time seeking my face, focusing on my presence, and my words help you to grow in grace and discern my will. What does? Focusing on my presence right here, right now with you. My presence. Focus. I am here. No matter what goes on in the world does not change the fact that I am back. My presence is here. That's why everything's happening, is because of my presence. You focusing on my presence and my words, these disciplines, the scriptures, all the words help you to grow in grace and discern my will. It's not like a free pass to heaven. It is helping you to grow in grace and discern my will. Okay? Your time spent with me nourishes your soul, providing comfort and encouragement. Thus, I strengthen you and enable you to be a source of strength for others. You're shining my light, and now you are also a source of strength for others. And I provide you the comfort and encouragement that strengthens you and enables you to be that source of strength for others. Okay? I'm that foundation. I'm that rock. This foundation, this rock, the one that you can lean on, that you can trust. Okay? Now, with the threat of terrorism looming over the planet, some people are saying and feeling that there is no safe place. In one sense, this is true, but evil people, especially terrorists, are unpredictable and ruthless. However, for Christian believers, there is no place that is actually unsafe. I wish I could really get you guys to grab that one. There is no place that for you that believe me, there is no place that is unsafe for you. I know you. You believe me. I'm not going to come after you. You're in a safe place. I know you. You trust me. You're in a safe place. There is no place that is actually unsafe for you. Your ultimate home is heaven, and no one can rob you of this glorious inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade. Also, I am sovereign over everything, including your life and your loved ones. So nothing can happen to you or to them except what I allow. Okay? The truth is, the world has been at war ever since Adam and Eve first sinned, and the fall in the Garden of Eden rendered the earth a dangerous place where good and evil contend against each other continually. Where are you? You're on a battlefield. You're on earth where good and evil contend continually. I would call that a battlefield. Good and evil constantly fighting each other. Yeah, that's a battlefield. Yeah, little did you know, you're right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of a battlefield, whether you like it or not. I'm giving you the tools to survive this battlefield. Okay? The fall in the garden rendered the earth a dangerous place where good and evil contend. Okay? You're in the insane asylum, basically. And you're all crazy and you didn't even know it. And I gotta come along and tell you, hey, everything you thought was a little skewed. Okay? The word rapture is not in the Bible. I wish everybody would stop using that word. All these faithful Bible believing people keep using that word. Stop right there. What if I said, at the end of the show, you'll score a touchdown, and everybody is waiting for the touchdown? Is it pre-show touchdown, or is the touchdown after the show, or is it midway through the show? Well, there is no touchdown in the Bible. It doesn't have a 7-point score in the end zone touchdown. That term touchdown is not in the Bible. Well, everybody is treating the rapture like a touchdown. Like it's I escaped all the things. No, you're going through them right now. You haven't escaped anything. You're going through it right now. So this term rapture needs to be abolished, because it's not rapture. You are being caught up. The term caught up. Did anybody even bother to go look up the term caught up? Nope, they just interpreted it as a little white dot goes flying up into the air like Hollywood. Did anybody do any research, any homework, or anything? Go look up the term caught up and what it means. It's intrigued. It's fascinated. It's, like when you're caught up in a good book, or you're caught up in your favorite song, or, even on YouTube, there's some live streams that are just wild and out there, and you get caught up in them. This is my face in the clouds on Easter. You are caught up with me in the clouds. That's what it says. You will look up, you will see me coming with power and great glory, and you will be caught up with me in the clouds. See, I'm in the flesh right now walking around. I can't just pop in your living room and come say hi and give you a hug. I have to meet my family in the air. I have to meet my family in the air, which means cyberspace and YouTube live. Do you get it? You are meeting me in the air. I have to meet you in the air. You are caught up with me in the clouds. We're meeting in the air. Your inheritance can never perish, spoil, or fade. Your ultimate home is heaven. Okay? You're on a battlefield where good and evil contend. So it's crucial to be alert and self-controlled. Alert and self-controlled. Look at this world. They're not alert. Look at this world. They have no self-control. But you can. It's crucial to be alert and self-controlled. Remember, your ultimate enemy is the devil, and he has already been defeated. You're looking at victory. You're guaranteed victory. The devil has already been defeated. It's like your cassette tape. It has all the songs on it, all the way to the very last song, and at the end of the song is the completion of that side of the tape, right? Well, it's song number 8. And there's 10 songs. There's 2 more whatever to go, but at the end you will see we've just rewound back is all. The end is already there. He's been defeated. We've just kind of rewound the tape and we're playing song number 8 or, our favorite song before the end of the tape. Kind of like that. In a simple term, like to simplify it for you. Now, back to where it was. It's crucial to be alert and self-controlled. The devil has been defeated. I have overcome the world, and you are on the winning side, my side. In me, you have peace. In me, you are always safe. Trust. In me, you are always safe. These times right now are in my hands. So trust in me. I am training you to feel secure in the midst of change and uncertainty. No one likes change. No one likes uncertainty. And I am training you to feel secure in the midst of that change, in the midst of that uncertainty. Look, it can actually be a relief to realize that you're not in control of your life. Let go, and let God. Okay? It can be relief when you realize, when you finally just go, oh, I'm not in control of my life. It can actually be a relief. When you accept that the human condition, that this is the human condition, okay? You have this condition of wanting control of your life. You want to be the driver of your own destiny, and no, it's not the case. And you have to accept that the human condition, that this is the human condition, okay? So, when you get the relief from realizing you have no control, okay, and that the human condition is to fear change and uncertainty, but you get relief in the midst of that, you accept that this human condition, while resting in my sovereignty, you become increasingly free. Again, while resting in my sovereignty, you become increasingly free. I'm not telling you this to be passive or fatalistic. It's important to use your energy and your abilities, but I want you to do it prayerfully. So pray about everything and search for me in your moments. I am a God of surprises, so look for me in unexpected places. I invite you to rejoice in each day that I have made, asking me to orchestrate its details and events. Ask me to orchestrate the details and events. You're out there trying to go take care of it yourself, and I can orchestrate it a lot easier for you. I had to go out really quick. I didn't make plans to go out and run errands. Oh, I had to run down really quick, and I forgot. I made a mistake and took control, and I wish I'd have just done so prayerfully first, because forgot this, went in the wrong direction, did all the things wrong. So, hot off the streets, it's important to use your energy and abilities, but do it prayerfully. Pray about everything and search for me in the moments. The orchestrating of the details and events. I should have left when I heard that voice say, let's go now. But I delayed for 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes cost me a half an hour at the light, at the line and store. If I'd have just left that 5 minutes earlier, I would have made the light. I would have had that shorter line in the store. Everything would have worked smoother. So it's important that you ask me to orchestrate the details and events of your day. It'll go smoother. Just give it a try. All right? And since I am in control of your times, you don't have to be anxious about making things happen faster. Okay? I get in that mode all the time. I have a very, very tight, very, very busy schedule. If I miss one split second, one hiccup, if the timing isn't just right, and I get anxious about things happening faster. And I know you guys do too, okay? So, you got to let go. Know that I am in control of your times, and you don't have to be anxious about making things happen faster. Rushing and anxiety go hand in hand, and I have instructed you not to be anxious. So if you let me set the pace, I will bless you with peace that transcends all understanding. And that's it for tonight right there. Well, come back here. All right. The planning of events through the details and events, try praying before you do those. I'm always in a hurry. I got a really tight time schedule, and I need things to happen faster, and they don't. And I get anxious. I get my anxiety. Ooh, you guys think you get anxiety? But I have learned the tools that when I have that anxiety, take a minute, breathe, regain composure. Remember that to pray about the details and events of the day, and try not to rush through them. Okay. And when you're not rushing through them, you get that peace that transcends all understanding. You guys are doing great. You're really making huge leaps, bounds, progress. You're finding that peace. You find that it's possible to do, but sometimes we forget to do it, and we get wrapped right up into the world again. I should have prayed about the details before I went out on the road. I should have not worried about the time constraint, and I would have been more at peace. So that was my lesson for the day, and I know better. I had to use the tools in the toolbox to go back and fix the situation, but that situation wouldn't have arose if I had just prayed about the details and then not felt so rushed. All right, so important stuff that I take hot off the street each day and try to pass on to you. I'm training you how to overcome your circumstances, how to make mistakes now opportunities. It gives you peace. It gives you stillness, even during these hard times, okay? That's really my face in the clouds, April 17th, 2020. There, we've rotated it so you can see it a little bit better, okay? 2,000-year-old prophecy came true. All right, that's it for tonight, you guys. I love you. I miss you. Thank you for your endurance. Actually, enduring these shows is good practice for your patience, isn't it? Yeah. I go through all these reports, and then we finally get to the end of the show and the good stuff, and then you get rewarded for your patience, right? So, patience, perseverance, keep praying. Remember daily events and stuff like that. Try to pray about that stuff too, so you don't get hung up in the anxiety. Okay, you shouldn't have anxiety. You should give it to me. I love anxiety attacks. I get gnarly ones that give you a heart attack, but I overcome them, and then I post them on a little thing like this, and I do the same with yours and make a collage of all your moments where you overcame. Okay? So let go, let God. You can see that you're not in control, but you can be that beacon in the place I put you. Okay? You can bring light into the darkness where you're at. And that's what you need to do in these closing days here as we go, is bring as much light as you can and bring this message. Okay? You guys you're technically raptured, even though it's not in the Bible. You are already getting glimpses of heaven. You're already getting glimpses of your inheritance. Shoot, you met me, and we're building a relationship, aren't we? Yeah, because it's about a relationship. It's not about religion. It's about a relationship. Okay? And in this relationship, I love you. I miss you. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. The Lion of the tribe of Judah. And I love you. Bye.